Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn and this is the June reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. This month I'm starting off by pulling cards for retrograde season. I just did a video called Retrograde Review where I kind of go over some of the lessons that retrograde has taught us, and I will put that link in the bio. But for each of the signs, I'm pulling some cards regarding the lessons that you might have come across during retrograde period, specifically for you, right? So let's see. Sorry, I'm using the Sacred Cycles Oracle deck that I got in my Goddess Provisions box to talk about this retrograde period, but also this super moon, new moon, lunar eclipse that we had also in May, right? It was May. Yeah. So those are definitely sacred cycles, and sacred cycles always have a lesson for us in them. And so we're going to look at the lessons, or some of the lessons that you came across during these past couple sacred cycles that we just went through. Okay. The cards that came out, oh, look at the moon, look at the moon, yes. So we have wolf, and we have cervix, and we have labia. So I feel like this moon card being here in the middle of these two cards is really just kind of showing how moon cycles really give us the opportunity for things to be illuminated that might have not necessarily been things that we have known. So a lot of things I feel like came out to you in terms of these last lunar cycles that we had, with lessons about tapping into your inner wisdom and your inner strength, right? So, but let's see what these cards are talking about. Let's start with 38, shall we? Yeah. No. Yeah. Wolf. I know who I can trust, right? As a pack animal, wolf is wise to where they belong in the scheme of things. Deeply dialed into the hierarchical, can't say the word right now, dynamics at play, they know the value of being acutely attuned to the guidance of inner intuition. Yeah. Wolf is here to whisper a reminder to look to your instincts. As the leader of your life, you're being called upon to trust your intuition. While cultural narratives may try to tame you, the energy of wolf calls forward your animalistic instincts, your sixth sense, your inner knowing. Following these cues will guide you through life cycles in ways that feel more in flow. Take note at this time of the ways you're relating with others and whether you have been trying to pull away as a lone wolf when your pack would be so happy to help you. Allow yourself to be bolstered by others so that you can further tap into the innate impulses that wish to support your body's natural cycles and rhythms from within. So the question that this card is asking is, for you to ask yourself is, am I following my gut instinct when it comes to time to make decisions, right? So you're really being asked to really trust yourself and trust that initial instinct that you have. And because what happens when you divert from that is you end up kind of like paying the price for that, right? And then you're kicking yourself afterwards, like, I should have listened to myself. And you should. The next card is 45, which is cervix. I know what is best for me. Yeah, that makes complete sense, right? Following your intuition ultimately leads you to what's best for you. Acting as a sacred boundary and gateway, the surface protects the sanctum of the womb space. Located at the end of the vaginal canal, it shifts position and shape throughout the hormonal cycle, expanding, contracting, releasing fluids, and adjusting as needs to the sacred body's energetic experience. This threshold invites you to acknowledge your boundaries and edges of comfort. It is time to consider the relationships, contracts, and connections in your life. Find clarity around who and what is rooted in integrity and where your trust has been earned or broken. With this comes the balancing act between safely de-armoring the blockades constructed from fear or trauma and empowering your own discernment. This process is slow and steady. No need to rush. Allow yourself the time and space to connect with the wisdom of this inner boundary and apply its guidance to your experience. Where in your life and with whom do you need more or fewer boundaries? And ultimately, in order to determine the boundaries that you need, you're following this, right? You're following what your inner wisdom tells you. I feel like you're a very intuitive individual, a very intuitive person, and a lot of times you'll get initial thoughts or initial feelings about something, a situation, or someone, and you don't necessarily listen to them. And when you do, it's like things go left. You're kicking yourself because you felt like you made a wrong decision when ultimately you went against the original decision that your mind told you. And so a lot of that is affected by the relationships that you have where you're not respecting your own boundaries and letting other people infiltrate the boundaries that you should have for yourself, right? So you're ignoring your inner wisdom and your inner guidance, or you were ignoring your inner wisdom and your inner guidance, violating your own boundaries, and then kicking yourself for it at the end. And so I feel like this last sacred cycle, these are the lessons, the major lessons that you may have learned. And now here in this card here for labia, we see these two individuals here. And these to me are a representation of Gemini energy, which is the season that we're currently in. So right now, after coming out of learning these lessons here about listening to your inner guidance and your inner intuition, you're in a space where you're trying to cultivate the opportunity to really learn and discern what is important to you based on what you need. And the things that you've learned during this time frame, right? So now is the time where you're implementing the protective measures for yourself to actually sit with these lessons that you learned during this retrograde and full moon period. So labia says, I am protected. Encompassing the external structures of the genital area, the labia surrounds and protects the delicate and powerful parts of the inner generative space, acting as a guardian and pleasure center. It can also hold on to unprocessed emotions and experiences. Take note of anything that feels a bit exposed or raw at this time, and consider how you might give more care to this cherished part of you. In the past, it might have felt liberating and important to share this part of yourself with the world. But now that same part is calling for an internal nurturing vibration instead. If you're considering whether to bring a new creation or aspect of yourself into the light for others to see, be sure to give yourself plenty of time and space to discern whether this is an alignment and conjures a sense of pleasure. Let joy be your guiding light. And the question is, where in your life do you need to show up as a protector for what is precious to you? So this is really a kind of energy that is basically about setting up really strict boundaries to keep out energies that you just don't want in your life. And you're using your wisdom and your discernment and that sense of really trusting and depending on your inner guidance to guide you into making decisions that protect you, respect your boundaries that you have for yourself, and the people that are in alignment with that in your life, the people, the opportunities, the spaces that align with your boundaries that you've set, and then you're protecting that at all costs. So ultimately there will be decisions that have to be made that might require eliminating people who don't respect your boundaries. Like if they don't respect it, they gotta go. Okay? So those are the lessons that you might have learned during this past retrograde period. And this next deck is the Oracle Majesty deck, right? And I'm using this to determine what the overall energy for the month for you guys will be. I already shuffled these. I just like shuffling them again a little bit. Okay, so is like 100 cards right now. Okay, maybe not 100. I'm exaggerating. We got 4 cards. We have Flip, which says, how does a situation look and feel from a different view? And that is definitely something that you are able to do, is to look at something from an alternative view and see what it looks like from the other side. Dive. What is ready for action? Dive. And then we have Turn. What is next in my becoming? Secure Dragonfly. And then Sweeten. What is mine to share? And that's the honeybee. I love these cards. They're so colorful and they're just so bright. I just love, the way they look. Okay, so let's see. Second card, and I'll read that. Take a moment to pause and scan your life from the aerial view of red-tailed hawk. What do you see? Watch, listen, and observe. What does your instinct tell you? There, it's time to execute, right? So you just pay attention and listen to what your instincts are telling you and make your decisions quickly. If you've been waiting for a sign to act or wondering when a decision will be ripe for the making, pay heed to the call of the red-tailed hawk. Circle, swoop, and grab. Quick, straight like that. There's an opportunity in front of you. While hesitation does not co-sign you to permanent starvation, giving into your doubts instead could delay dinner. I kind of like that. There's an opportunity in front of you. Let me read it again. While hesitation does not consign you to permanent starvation, giving in to your doubts instead could delay dinner. Why not go for it? So if you have a question about action that you should be taking, go for it. Swoop down on it. Giving credence to your instincts and acting on them is a form of spiritual exercise. You're exercising your power of discernment when you make a swift decision and act on your instincts. You're strengthening this muscle. Every time you grow, learn, and sustain yourself, you have the power to choose, take aim, and go after what you want. No holding back. I mean, Libra. What's the next card that we're going to look at? Turn. The next card is Turn. The process of becoming yourself, which is this card here, that amorphous, oft-used, evolutionary destination is lifelong. So you're always going to be learning how to execute and how to use your instincts, how to lean on them and how to trust them. And that takes time. And yet we actually have to start showing up in every moment as we are. And before we know it, everything. Dragonfly zips through the air towards you with encouraging confidence, negotiating a maze that only he can see. Who are you now? Who do you want to become next? Change it up anytime. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your evolution, and nothing requires loyalty to past versions of yourself. Anything that tells you otherwise is an illusion. Dragonfly is a terrifically adept flyer with incredible speed. Using the precision born of his ability to independently control each of his 4 wings, he can change course on a whim, making angled turns with ease. He views the world from all directions too, except he can't see directly behind him. Much like Butterfly, his transformation from larva to adult is very dramatic. Today, he counsels flexibility in your relationship with what you perceive as who you are. Give yourself license to constantly develop your personal truth and sense of self. You are free to follow any direction that catches your fancy, even at high speed. Eyes open to anything that will aid you in your own never-ending transformation. Leave the past behind and focus on the next turn that feels right for you. So these 2 cards are really all about instincts and learning how to make decisions based on an instinctual process that you're gonna develop and hone and perfect, right? And then you can fly it. Sorry, excuse my language. I was about to say something. Fly it however you want to, right? Be the master of that. Okay, and the next card is, wait, did I just pass it? Nope, that wasn't it. There it goes, Stink Bug. So this card here, flip, is a stink bug. Perception is everything. When we land on our backsides, the world might feel upside down, but is it really? Take a moment to lie quietly wherever you find yourself. Look up. What can you see and understand about yourself from this point of view? Our ability to shift lenses goes both ways. If something sends you topsy-turvy because your lesson is remembering you have the power to reorient, wiggle your legs, gather your courage, and right yourself with the flick of a full body flip. Other times you might feel stuck looking in one direction. In that case, create your own plot twist. Shift your approach and swap positions. Maybe this means trying something new, moving your body physically, or putting on a pair of rose-colored sunglasses. Although Stinkbug is not native to the Prairie of yesteryear, his modern residence in the plains of the Midwest, I don't think I need to go. I do want to read this part though. When threatened, Stinkbug emits a rotten odor that warns everyone else to leave him alone. Okay. Tap into your tenacity and determination. Don't give up on yourself. Find somewhere warm. Take whatever time and space you need to get back on your feet. So if you have in the past made a decision about certain things in your life and you feel like at the time you knew it, but you didn't listen to your instincts and you're mad about it because it just kind of turned you upside down, that inability to listen to your instincts is a skill that you're honing, right? It's a skill that you're leaning into. And so you will understand that there will be times where things, you don't necessarily land the mark and things go left. And you might end up being upside down and in a ditch somewhere and not where you plan to be. But look at it as a perspective. It's a lesson learned, and it's a lesson that you can move forward with that will tighten your instincts here, right? Tighten your ability to listen to your inner wisdom and then be able to move accordingly, right? So the last card is Sweeten. So honeybee is a giver. Like a needle pulling thread, she buzzes from flower to flower, sewing tiny perfect stitches in the fabric of life. Her gathering of pollen and nectar ensures food for many, including us. With other workers, she also produces an astounding amount of honey, more than the hive needs. Rich, sticky, and treasured, this amber sweetness never spoils. Stepping into honeybee energies offers more possibilities than hexagons in honeycombs. That's cute. Depending on today's circumstances, the influence of her generous spirit may express differently. At an end of the spectrum, your cup may be overfull in a material or metaphysical sense. You need to overthink the release of your honeyed surplus. The spillover will happen organically at this vibration if you choose it. Fly with honeybee, spreading gladness in the ways that come naturally to you. At the other extreme, you might feel emptiness, even despair. When the sweetness of life feels like a trick, being told to share it can feel like censure. But that is not honeybee's way. Listen for her hum as she keeps you company in the dark. Ask her to help you see the threads connecting all of us to life and to each other. Feel the golden strands inside of you, filaments of faith and abundance twisted together in ready supply. Your umbilical cord to the Great Mother is always intact, even when you can't see it. With each rebirth from the void, you have a capacity to share this certainty. Space here of creating boundaries for yourself. You don't want to not share the sweetness that is overflowing in you. You want to share your happiness. You want to share your joy with the world. You don't have to feel restricted in sharing that. You're not going to run out. It's an endless supply. It's not a trick. It's not, it's not going to be pulled. The rug is not going to be pulled out from under you. Like, share that sweetness and don't try to hold on to it like a reserve. Share it with everyone else. I feel like you might be keeping like your happiness to yourself when it comes to certain aspects of your life, and even on this journey here and recommitting to learning and honing your inner instincts. No matter what circumstances you've come out of, no matter how many times you've been flipped upside down, you always are looking at the best part of a thing. You're always looking at the bright side of a thing. No matter what, you are able to look at things from the bright side, no matter where you're at, in that moment. And that's a beautiful gift to have. But I feel like you might be, kind of reserving your sweetness for yourself. I don't want to say you might be reserving your sweetness for yourself due to that. And so it's okay to share that. It's okay to emanate that goodness that you have in you, and to let your light shine so that other people can see it and other people could take part in the beautiful person that you are. Like, you're a gift, and you should share yourself as a gift, even while still maintaining and keeping those boundaries for yourself. Like, we're working on sharpening and honing your instincts. And so, this is a process that you're going through, but at the same time, don't not share the sweetness that you are, the sweetness that you are as a person, as an individual. Don't not share that with the world. Like, the world needs that. Okay, that was nice. And so the next part is I'll be pulling tarot cards for this month's energy, what to expect during this month. But also I'm doing the shortened Celtic cross, which is kind of like, I call it the Celtic cross without the tail, because it's only 5 cards. And so we're going to pull cards for you. Okay, so in the current moment, we have the High Priestess in reverse. So, a couple things. This could be you, right? This could be your energy here. Really having difficulty learning how to master, right, your intuition and how to use your intuition to make decisions, right? So we talked a lot about that in with the pulling of the first cards, and so I mean I'm not gonna go deep into that, but this energetically could be you. This could also be someone that is in your direct circle. This card is a symbol for Pisces, so this could be a Pisces individual that is not necessarily I mean, they may not necessarily be leaning or dealing from a place of trusting their own intuition about certain things, right? Or they could just be operating in a space where they are over drinking, over partying, kind of like trying to bury certain things with the use of agents, drinking a lot. I'm surprised the Three of Cups didn't come out, but yeah, you know, they're just operating and not really tapping into their highest version of themselves. And so they're showing up in your reading. So this could be you and this could be them, right? What's crossing you here, well, it came out in the reverse, right? Right. Is this reverse for you? Yeah, the Hangman in reverse, right? And so this is an indication that if this is outside of yourself, there's a lot of delays. You know, we already talked about having delays in making decisions and thinking about, you know, making quick choices for yourself on a whim because you're trusting your intuition. So that is this. This is the indication of that. It's delayed thinking. It's, you know, delayed action, really trying to wait a lot for divine timing. I feel like some of you might be kind of waiting for the perfect timing to make a decision about something or someone. It could be this person. So there's a delayed type of action, a delayed type of energy with this individual. It could be regarding this individual, but it could also be about this individual, like making a delayed thought about this person, right? Or making a delayed decision about this person. In the past is the World in reverse. So something ended. There's a definite ending here. We have the Death card. We also have the Ten of Swords, which is a painful ending, right? And this is in the conscious realm. There's a painful ending that happened or is happening or is going to happen. And it feels like a cycle because if you look at it, these cards are on, is in the past and in the present, in the reverse, and at the top of the queue with the conscious realm is the Ten of Swords. So it feels like it's going like in a cycle. It's going around in a cycle. So this, like I said, this could be pertaining to this Pisces individual in your life, but this is also be you breaking the cycle of not learning how to trust your intuition, or in the cycle of learning how to trust your intuition by, falling, getting up, and then restarting over again. There's a lot of like death energy, renewal energy, starting fresh, starting new rebirth energy that's actually kind of playing out in the cards. And in the subconscious realm, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Chariot, and then we also have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse as well. So it feels like there's a lot of delays happening, delays with finances, delays with messages coming in about finances, or, you're kind of like in between these two, you see? So I wish I would have realized that the cards weren't in frame. So, okay. So here we have in the middle, smack dab in the middle, is the Chariot between the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So there is like a stuck energy that's happening. The Chariot is about moving forward. And so you could be waiting for incoming messages about finances in order to move forward. The Chariot is also a symbol for Cancer. So you could be waiting for a message from a Cancer about a Cancer individual about money that's inhibiting you or blocking you from moving forward. This is also related to the home space, the Cancer card. So this could be you waiting for messages about moving into a new home, a new space. And it all feels very delayed. It's all delayed with these cards in the reverse. Like that information is something that you're actively waiting for. And again, like I said, we have this Pisces individual literally in the center of all of that. So a lot of this could be contributed to this individual with the delays in timing. This could be the reason they could be delaying you because of them dealing with this conscious death, this death that's happened. It's a painful death, and so it might be the reason, or a painful ending, I should say, an ending that they aren't necessarily getting over or letting go of with the death card in reverse. They're not processing the ending, and so it because of that, it's kind of like delaying a lot of things in your life, but divine timing is at play. And so I feel like, you know, with things that are delayed, ultimately they have to move at some point. And so, you know, you might have to wait a little bit. But, you know, you're looking at the bright side of all things like you do. So, you know, things will change when they're supposed to. I'm going to pull some clarifiers for this using the Grand Tableau, the Grand Tableau Oracle deck to do clarifiers. Okay, so I want to go more further. What is the outcome? So, what did I say? Right here is the message card, is the letter card actually, and it's referring to a message, some sort of communication, incoming communication from a person that you obviously look at as a snake. It could be you look at them, or they're operating in this way. It's communication from them. You are in the crossroads with this person. Like I said before, it feels like a cycle. It feels like one big cycle that just keeps going around and around in circles. And you're, again, at another crossroads with this individual, waiting for a correspondence about them or from them. That can turn the nature or turn the direction of this dynamic that you have with them. And the final outcome card that came out, the bouquet, which is happiness, a gift, right? So something coming out of this situation, no matter what happens, no matter what deception happens with this person, you're going to eventually receive a message that is going to shift the nature of the relationship, of the dynamic, and ultimately move you into a space of happiness, right? So no matter what's going on, the messages, again, messages coming in, right? You're going to get that message about this person here. It's going to come to you. And eventually all this cycle, the delayed action, the delayed things are being finally over, like going around in a circle and not having that ending or that completion will end, and you'll be able to move forward as indicated by the Chariot and also the bouquet. So it'll ultimately work out in your favor and in your benefit, okay? And it's there's a gift here at the end of this for you. So in the final, I'm going to be using the Shamanic Healing Oracle card deck to kind of pull some advice for you guys to kind of get through this period, right? What is the message? I'm sorry I have to end the reading this way. My system is glitching on me, but the two cards that came out for the advice cards is coming from the Shamanic Healing Oracle card deck. And the first card is Retreat. This is a good time to retreat into your safe space. A quiet time to gather your resources for what's to come. Work on making your body, mind, and soul as strong and unencumbered as possible. This is the card that urges you to get your ducks in a row for the changes that lay ahead. Changes sometimes come fast and furious. Even when they are longed for, it can take us unprepared. By drawing this card, you're advised to prepare for some changes coming your way soon. Alternately, take this time to process the changes that you have recently gone through. So now is like a really good time to prepare for the changes that are coming. I know it feels like it's been delayed for a very long time, but change is going to come, and you're going to, when it does happen, it's like that information is going to drop and you're going to move full speed ahead. And so you should take the time now to get prepared for that change. The second card that comes out is Truth. The eagle proudly surveys its domain from such a high perch that all pertaining to this situation is revealed. The shadows hide nothing from his keen vision. Once you can remove yourself from the muck that lower vibrations keep you in, you can attain a viewpoint that enables you to see the truth of the matter. This card advises you to search for the truth of the situation, regardless of the emotions it brings up. Are you or someone connected to you unconsciously suppressing the truth? Hiding from the truth can only intensify the lesson later on. So I feel like at the end of all this big circle, I feel like a lot of truths are going to be revealed to you. That truth that keeps coming out in terms of like that, the letter card or the communication card. And I just wanted to clarify that the letter card can mean a letter, but it could also just mean like an email, a text message, some sort of communication that is revealing in nature. And so with that coming up along with this truth card here, I feel like you might already know the truth, but I feel like ultimately the truth is going to be revealed about this situation, about this particular individual. Obviously, we're looking at the middle of this card, and we're seeing, the middle of the spread earlier, and we're looking at a Pisces individual. So if you are waiting for something to come out, rest assured that it is going to come out. And in the time that you're waiting for that truth to come out, now is a good time for you to prepare for how drastically your life is going to change when that information drops. Okay, so this is the end of the reading. I want to thank you so much for listening. Please go ahead and like the video, share your comments and your thoughts below, and share the video with a friend, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.